As a part of the arm sculpting series in each class, we want to include a series on our shoulders. I typically start with shoulders doing planks and then stand up to go into arms so that the shoulders are nice and connected to the back before doing the more distal arm work with the weights in the hands. There's a couple of variations that you can do for your shoulder work, starting with the basic plank. We have a basic plank position here. Coming back with the toes tucked under, the palms spread wide, the spine is nice and long, lengthening through the crown of the head and through the tail. Different variations in the plank position include walking the hands open and closed, which destabilizes the body and allows the core to work very strongly. You may also open and close the feet, which again activates the quads and the low abs, especially in order to continue to stabilize the trunk and build strength. There's two styles of push-ups that you can do in the wide plank position, including the forearm and the chest position. For the forearms, you want to make sure that the eyes of the elbows are turned to face forward. The body weight is pitched forwards. I typically do a series of counts, lowering 1 and 2, pushing up for 1 and 2, lowering 1 and 2, pushing up for 1, then reduce, you go down, and lift, you lower down, and lift, 2 more, you're down, and lift, and so on. By the time you get to the final set, you can do an additional variation going into some pulses. Lower last one, hold, and pulse it 8, 7, 6, and 5, 4, 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. These variations can be also done in the wide chest position. For that position, you just take the hands a little bit wider, perhaps as wide as the mat. From there, you have your wide chest going down and pressing lift, working the pecs in the front of the chest instead of the triceps and the back. Once more, lower, lower, and a lift, and lift. All of these positions are most likely to be done by clients for at least a portion of the class with the knees down. The knee down position should be with the knees open to hip distance and the heels pulled towards the buttocks. The buttocks should not be sent backwards, but the tailbone is tucked under, low abs are in, and body weight is shifted forwards over the palms. Do not cross the ankles here. We want to protect the knee by keeping the legs parallel. Option to also keep the ankles down. This way, you can build your strength in a push-up using quite a bit of body weight. This is still a very challenging variation. And lift. Fantastic. So those are your tricep and your wide planks in the full plank position. To go into forearm planks, we also have various variations that you can do with the legs and the shoulders as well. For our forearm plank, we want to come down, palms spread wide or in fists, trying to keep the forearms parallel, as opposed to bringing the hands together, which is not optimal for the shoulder position. So with palms parallel, we take one leg back, toes tucked under. We take the other leg back, toes tucked under. We lower the hips. Variations include taking the knees down, right and left, and right and left, and right and left. Taking the hips down, lower for 2, and lift for 2, and lower for 2, and lift for 2. Twisting the hips, a little side bend, slow, and stretch, a twist and bend, and stretch. Again, and bend, and stretch. Once more, and bend, and stretch. I'll take a break here before we go into our serratus push-ups. Coming forwards into the forearm plank, forearms are parallel. One leg tucks back, toes tucked under. Inhale, tucking the pelvis, sending the other leg back, lowering the hips down. To move the shoulder blades, you take the shoulder blades towards each other on the back, trying to keep the hips and neck stable, and then spread the shoulder blades away from each other. This can also be set up in the four-post position with the hands and the knees on the mat. Additional variations include the pelvis tuck and also our side planks. Pelvis tuck is very simple, taking the pubic bone towards the belly button, keeping this action very small and contained, activating the full core stability while maintaining a solid forearm plank, and also pressing the weight of the heels backwards, sliding the body along a horizontal plane, taking the weight of the body forwards into the crown of the head. choose anywhere between 1 to 4 variations to complete the forearm plank or the front plank. We'll go into side planks next.